Hello everybody, welcome back to Northern Forge and Timber. Today, super exciting day planned. I'm going to be working on the ground prep for the barn, but I just wanted to walk you guys through some of the stuff that I got done the last couple weeks and I never made a video about. So in, I think, the first property log, I went and pulled the trees and stumps out here and piled up a bunch of dirt. A couple weeks ago, I brought the wheel loader out and moved all the dirt over and put them in their respective piles. And then my father-in-law helped me, I think it was last weekend. We leveled this off with a skid steer, and then I brought all the lumber I have that I sawed up in the last couple months, and I was just storing it out at the sawmill. But I brought it all here, stacked it up, stickered it, and just cleaned up the spot out of the sawmill. So I'm getting some logs in the next couple weeks, which is super exciting, so I can get back to doing some sawing. I still have a lot of material to saw up for the barn, but today I have the skid steer with me, and my brother is hauling me some gravel. So I had the mini excavator out here a couple weeks ago, I think. Maybe it was last weekend. And I started working on getting the area ready. Here, I'll flip you guys around so you can see. Getting the area ready for the barn. So, if you guys remember, I pulled all the trees out, just piled them all up here last year. And I was hoping to burn them, but never got around to it while the snow was on the ground. So I just pushed all the brush over to that side, and then I've buried most of it. That's where the truck's sitting right now. And then I went through and scraped as much of the dirt off the rock as I can. And then I'm going to start working from the rock up. So today I'm going to be getting some measurements for just start laying out the foundation for the barn. And then with the gravel that my brother's hauling me, he's just dumping it over there. I'm going to start filling in some of the low spots, taking some measurements, and I'm hoping that I can get some footings poured out here pretty soon. So that's all very exciting. Yeah, I'll set you guys up and we'll get into it. I'm about done for today. I'll walk you guys through what I've got finished. So I started out this morning. I set up the laser level in the middle there, and I figured out what height I want my floor to be of the finished product. And then I measured 4 feet down from that, which I want to have as a frost wall. And then I measured another 10 inches below that for footing. And so anywhere that was lower than that, I filled with the A gravel that my brother dropped off, and I went up in layers. I did about 6 inches at a time, packed it as I went, and I basically only had to do this far side and the back end. This whole front and right side, the rock is up higher than that. So my plan is to do normal strip footing, just like 10 inches thick, probably 24 inches wide, and I'll just notch my forms to fit over the rock, and then anywhere where the rock is higher than the top of that footing is going to be, I'm just going to notch the ICF, anchor it down. So yeah, got everything leveled off. I reshot everything. I'll probably have to tweak it a little bit once I actually get some forms down, which I'm hoping to start working on that next weekend probably. But yeah, and then I went and pulled some string lines, pulled some measurements, and I have the rough size and shape kind of roughed out. So I'll kind of walk you guys through that here. Flip you around. All right, so it's kind of hard to see the paint, but you can see some of them here, and it goes down right beside the bank there, all the way down to in front of the packer. I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that orange doesn't show up real well. So that's going to be this wall, and then the packer is basically at the corner, so that's going to be the back. And then right about here, you can see the orange paint here going all the way down that way. So that's going to be the front of the shop. So I am going to have to fill this in, this ditch that I dug last year, which isn't that big a deal. It's not going to be that much dirt, and I think it's going to be nice to have a little bit extra space between the driveway and the shop. But then over here, I actually need to dig the bank out a little bit more, probably about halfway down here. I don't know if you can see the orange paint on the bank. That's where the edge of the shop is going to be. So I'm going to have to dig out just a couple more feet. And then, so this goes like straight down that way. So my hole is basically the size that the shop is going to be. I'll zoom. So it's, yeah, the barn's going to be pretty big. I've got I'm planning on 48 by 72, which is a pretty generous shop, but I'm under the impression that everybody wants to go bigger as soon as they build it, so I'm hoping that I can avoid having a shop that feels too small. So yeah, there's a lot of work ahead of me still, but I'm hoping that next weekend, like I said, can start forming the footings and laying some rebar, and then we'll start pouring some concrete. And then my plan is to get hopefully the stub or the frost wall and stub wall poured as well this year. We'll see how it goes. I might run out of summer, but then get all the groundwork done, and then I am hoping I can get all the lumber sawn up this year so that in the spring I can just go ahead and start framing it up, which is super exciting. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.